So some best practices as we go into the holiday season with marketing and as it's already hit us. So first off, kind of if we're looking at it like the playing field, over 40% of shoppers are already out there doing it. They're already in the shopping, kind of getting into that holiday mode, which means that they're already open and receptive to getting holiday donation solicitations, or to at least start thinking about a charity that they might give to at the end of the year. So that gives us a really good opportunity as a nonprofit. The other thing is that where 40% or 4 out of 10 shoppers are already starting, big box stores, the Amazons, all of those, different stores and online sites, they know this, and they're going to send more emails. So you're going to see the volume of email for everyone go up, right? And you're going to notice it too if you haven't already. You're probably getting more and more emails right now. This is a time where business owners are making decisions for next year. So you might get a lot more scam or spam emails, which I've been getting lately. People are buying stuff. So I've been getting emails now about, hey, you owe $456 to the Best Buy Geek Squad, but it was sent from someone at a Gmail address. So when spammers start acting up, you know that we've got to start getting in there, right? Because there's just, they know it's just really, it's good territory for us. So that being said, you want to increase the number of emails that you're sending. I would say starting in November, you should be sending maybe 1 a week if you can. Okay. Now, again, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much. For you, just sending out, that's a lot, but it doesn't have to be where you have to be prolific and have something very creative all the time. You can curate content as well. So a lot of people, when they're making emails, another tip for getting content is, again, let's think about our donor persona, those people. Is there a story that we can grab? It doesn't have to be a story we've produced ourselves, but something on YouTube that we can share so that they watch and it kind of brings back, it resonates those feelings. Is there an article, or is there a guide or a worksheet or a checklist that someone's created, another resource that we can share with them? So now, again, all we're doing is just getting in front of them and being a resource.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll take an article that was in the newspaper, or CDC came out and said that overdoses increased by 30% last year. So I'll forward that out to people.
So now, to make your life easier, when we're thinking of an email, I want to have at the top section, what we're trying to drive. So right away, it's, hey, support Gilly's House. Right at the top of your email should be support Gilly's House and the donate now button. Every time should be the first thing I see, because I know that after I go past that and I start using my thumb to flick up, or I use the mouse to go down, now I'm going to get value. So Barbara's sending me an article or a video or something that she found, giving me an inspirational quote that I need to hear, showing me something funny to lighten my spirits or my mood, right? Because we want to counterbalance ethos here.
Right.
But you do that every email. So now it's a framework. Now it's all you have to do is just plug and play instead of recreating. Saves you time. You could probably sit on a Sunday having some coffee or tea and schedule your emails for the whole month. Take you a couple hours.
Oh, right? That's true. You could schedule them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
You're better off if you do schedule them, because when life happens, as you know, right? I ran a fraternity, unfortunately, so I know about having a lot of guys living in a house, right? Hindsight's 2020, but right, you got a lot coming up. So that's another one for you.